Okay, we're just after 2 o'clock, so we're going to get started here. And those that want to join in over the next couple of minutes, I'm sure they'll catch up. And so my name is John Porter. I'm the founder and CEO of BarterPay. And I just want to give you a welcome to this webinar where we can have a chat about how BarterPay can help grow your business, help you conserve cash using the organized bartering system. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to be with us today for the next 45 minutes or so. And we look forward to this great discussion. And also want to mention that we are giving away on this call at the end 5,000 barter credits to one lucky lady who's on the call and who spends the duration of the call with us. So, okay. So I just want to introduce my co-host today, Laura Didyk, who's the Vice President and National Lead for Women Entrepreneurs at BDC. And I was, maybe Laura, if you want to come on and just kind of say a few words about who you are and what you're up to.
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me. So the BDC is the Bank for Entrepreneurs, and Canada is a country of entrepreneurs, and yet only 28% of all entrepreneurs in Canada are women. And at BDC, we believe that women entrepreneurs have enormous untapped potential. And so we've made it a priority to support their growth and success at every step of their business. So I'm very excited to be here today with John. So thank you, John. BarterPay is such an innovative way to create cash and working capital for your business, which is more important now more than ever. I'm sure you're all living. And at the same time, it's reducing waste, which is also super, super important. So really excited to be here today. Really excited to be working with the 3 women entrepreneurs who are using BarterPay and learning more about it. So back over to you, John.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So I just wanted to have each guest as well come on board. And maybe we can start off with Amber. Maybe just tell us your business name and maybe just a highlight of your entrepreneurial journey so far.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's so nice to see everyone here. And I'm Amber Gilly. I actually own 3 companies, but the ones that are members of BarterPay are Let It Heal and The Spa in the Village. They're both service businesses. I started with BarterPay 15 years ago. It'll be 15 years this July, which is pretty exciting. And when you offer a good service, BarterPay is just the right way to get the word out there. So, you make a few BarterPay people happy, and then they tell all their cash-paying friends, and it's just a big loop of happiness, in my opinion.
Nice. We appreciate having you on board. It's an amazing partnership we've got going there. Okay, let's hear from Stephanie, just your business name and what you do, and maybe a highlight of your journey so far.
Sure. My name's Stephanie Soulis, and I own Little Mushroom Catering, Little Mushroom Dining Lounge, and Nom Nom Treats. And Little Mushroom Catering is or at least was before COVID, the #1 catering company in Ontario, according to Food Awards Ontario. And we've been using BarterPay for about 5 years now, and I've got lots of stories to tell, all of which have been great success stories with BarterPay. So I'm really happy to be on the call today.
Awesome, thanks so much. And Tommy, visiting with us from Regina, Saskatchewan. If you want to just let us know your business name and about your journey so far, kind of a couple of highlights there.
Hi there, I'm a family doctor in Regina, and I own Pasquaself Medical Aesthetics, which we specialize in medical aesthetics, so Botox fillers, body contouring, all that good stuff. I'm, I guess, the newbie for BarterPay. We've been using it for about 2 years, and it's been game-changing. It's helped in so many ways, but I'm sure there'll be lots of questions, so we'll be able to discuss that more later.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming on the call, all of you today, and look forward to the great discussion and hearing some of these success stories that you've had with bartering. Okay, so we're going to dive right in. I'm going to talk for about maybe 12 to 15 minutes here, just kind of go through a bit of a presentation just to kind of set the groundwork for what organized bartering is and how it works. And that'll probably start to spark some questions in your mind. So again, if you have a question, please just pop open the Q&A panel hit the button in your panel there, the Q&A, and just type the question in. And Laura is going to lead us at the end in these kind of an open Q&A in about 20 or 30 minutes from now. That there's never been more interest from the small business community across this country in actually looking at organized bartering as a solution to help fill downtime and move idle inventory. So we're really pleased to be able to offer this solution to all small to medium-sized businesses across the country, and especially women entrepreneurs as we expand nationally. So just quickly off the top, where is BarterPay? We're now pretty much spread across Canada. We've got an office in Victoria, BC, launched in Moncton last year. Lots of offices in between. This is kind of Southern Ontario here. And recently we've had businesses joining through our live webinars from Newfoundland, Kelowna, BC, all sorts of little small towns and cities across the country. So we're kind of just popping up. We've got about 22 locations now that are kind of actively clusters of businesses, and we're in the marketplace business. So as we build these clusters, it just kind of, the network effect starts to take over. Our team, our incredible team of people, is over 50 people now across Canada, and those are people who are our franchise owners, some of their staff, our Barter Coach team, our tech team, our development team, our administration team, and our leadership team. Super pumped about the team that we're building. And we've got over 250 years experience in this barter payment space. Actually, this is our headquarters, as you can see down here in Stoney Creek, Ontario, where I'm actually sitting right now, and looking to expand. We're actually on a distributed basis right now. Most of our workforce is working remotely, but as things unlock, we'll start to gather again. So what is BarterPay? BarterPay, what we are is we're a social impact enterprise that helps all small to medium-sized businesses across Canada get the things that they need without having to use money. Instead, they can just offer up their own goods and services. Now, we all know that bartering is really the oldest form of commerce. It's really how business was invented long ago. But for two parties to enter into a fair and equal trade, each side has to want what the other person has at the same time and at the same value, or it just doesn't work out. And so that often doesn't line up. And so to solve that problem, we've created a platform that now allows a business owner just like yourself to open up an account with BarterPay, establish an account number. Then you can offer up your goods or services onto the network in exchange for barter credits. Now, one barter credit is equal to $1 Canadian for valuation, accounting, and tax purposes. So now you can offer up your goods or services onto the platform. You can earn barter credits, and regardless of who has acquired your goods or services, you can now take these newly earned barter credits and that don't expire, and you can go and use them to barter and trade with anybody else in the entire network, locally, regionally, provincially, nationally, and soon to be internationally as we expand. And so no longer are businesses tied down to these one-on-one bartering trading relationships. It's now a one-to-many bartering ecosystem that's all working together. And so to illustrate this quickly, a couple of slides, this is the problem I just talked about. Believe it or not, it's actually called the double coincidence of wants. And so here you have, say, a web developer on this side who's looking for a plumber. And of course, the web developer, maybe this is you, you'd love to be able to obtain that plumbing by building them a website, but unfortunately the plumber doesn't really need a website, and so you can't make a trade. So again, to solve that problem, we've created what's called the BarterPay loop. It's the platform. So picture this being your business in the middle, and this is the BarterPay community that is around you. Already almost 4,000 businesses and growing quickly. And so the first thing you're going to be doing when you look at opening up an account with an organized bartering system like BarterPay is you're going to offer up your goods or services, and we focus on idle time and idle inventory. So you offer up your goods or services to the BarterPay community, again, in exchange for barter credits 1-for-1. Now, I just want to touch on this idle time and idle inventory. So pre-COVID, the whole bartering platform is predicated on spare capacity. We know that cash is still king. We know that cash is the oxygen of your business. You cannot run your business on bartering. You can only enhance your business with barter. So pre-COVID, I would talk to 10 business owners, 3 or 4 would be really interested in chatting further. And once I had a chance to chat with them, 2 or 3 of them would sign up on the system and start to utilize it. Because businesses were busy and it's hard to think about new things and adopt new ways of doing business. Now that we're in COVID and as we come out of this over the next 2 or 3 years, the new economy, every single business now is sitting on idle time or idle space, inventory. And so we just talk to 10 people, and it's like 8 or 9 of them are really interested in learning more, and then 4 or 5 or 7 of them are kind of hopping on board and trying it. But what I'm trying to point out there is we focus on idle time and idle inventory, and that will never change even as things get busy again. So here we are offering up your goods or services, you're earning barter credits. Now, the beauty of it is you can now take those barter credits and utilize them, spend them, monetize them, redeem them, whatever you want to phrase that. You can utilize them back within the bartering community to actually extract the goods or services that you need. So again, no longer are you tied to these one-on-one relationships. It's now a one-to-many system. And it basically is, you can see this sort of infinite loop of a system of reciprocity. It's a system, it's a sharing economy, it's a bartering system. It's a system where everybody is getting what they need by offering up their goods or services and getting back the things in exchange. Even our logo actually kind of depicts this sort of infinite loop of business that comes back to you by bartering. Okay, 2 key ways that we help businesses grow using barter. There's many ways that we help, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to touch on 2 today. Number 1, increase cash flow. So important for any business. Again, it's the oxygen of your business. So by being able to buy something at your wholesale cost of goods or your cost of time that was not being monetized, huge boost to your cash flow by being able to acquire the things that you need by leveraging your downtime or idle inventory. And number 2, increasing charitable giving to create more social impact in your community, again, without having to dip into cash. We all know that you're giving back to your community. Small business owners are the lifeblood of the economy and support the community in many ways, but sometimes you don't have necessarily the cash available. So we've come up with a way that you can actually do that by leveraging the bartering ecosystem. So one quick story to talk about. I know we're going to hear from Amber, Stephanie, and Tommy in a few minutes about their stories, but just one quick illustration of a bartering transaction just to kind of drive it home here. Ancaster Jewelers, and I picked a jewelry store, because that's all gets everybody excited. So Ancaster Jewelers, Jean-Pierre, he owns Ancaster Jewelers just outside of Hamilton, Ontario. And about 10 weeks ago, he signed up with BarterPay right before COVID, so maybe about 11 weeks ago. And he was sitting on about $50,000 to $60,000 worth of idle inventory in his clearance section. And he wanted to get some leasehold improvements done, some marketing, a new website, some advertising, and didn't want to have to dip into his cash to go get those things done. And so what he did was he made the very smart choice to join the BarterPay ecosystem, open up an account. He then handpicked about $15,000 worth of jewelry, really beautiful jewelry from his clearance section, items that he had purchased, up to 5 years previously with his hard-earned cash. He had already had that sunk cost inventory. And we ended up blasting that out to the network. In 1 week, we generated about $15,000 worth of barter credits for him. And then he started to take that credit in his account and get back the marketing and advertising and leasehold improvements that he needed so he could conserve his precious cash, which really helped through this last 10 weeks or so. So again, instead of cutting checks for those things out of his cash flow, he's now able to convert his sunk cost inventory into what he needs in real time, which is a huge boost to the bottom line. Again, we're going to hear from the three ladies in a few minutes about their stories as well. Okay, a quick article from the Financial Post recently was why pay in cash when you can pay in kind. For some businesses with products or services to offer, barter can be a useful way to pay for business expenses. If you have downtime in a service-based business, leaving tools and time wasted, or if you have excess inventory that is tying up warehouse space, barter networks can be a useful way to convert them into extra revenue in exchange for services ranging from marketing and photography to printing and construction. Barter networks such as BarterPay create their own barter credit systems that you can use to exchange with others in their network. Barter can be a useful way to capitalize on surplus time and assets. So a huge, we obviously agree with that statement. Okay, shifting gears here. So the second way that we help businesses leverage bartering to help grow their business is by being able to give back to the local community. And we do that through a program that we've invented, essentially called Barter Pay It Forward. And so we had tons of charities that were approaching us and saying, hey, how do we get in on this barter pay loop? We've got admin and overhead costs. We're spending precious donor dollars on our admin and overhead, and we'd rather take those dollars and put them to the end cause. And so is there a way that we can sort of benefit from being a part of this bartering ecosystem? And so we got creative, and we actually, to streamline the whole process, we actually created the Barter Pay It Forward Foundation. So it's actually a Canadian registered charity. So what we've got now is thousands of businesses across Canada in this bartering ecosystem who are offering up their goods or services, converting their idle time and idle inventory into barter credits, not only for themselves, but also to give back to charity. So we've got hundreds of businesses now who are actually donating some, and it's not an obligation, it's just what they're willing to do because they want to give back. They're donating their barter credits to our foundation in exchange for a charitable tax receipt 1-for-1. We then take those bartering credits that are now in the Barter Pay It Forward Foundation, and we disperse them and gift them out to charities across Canada. And then here's the best part. The charities who are receiving those barter credits are now going back into the same bartering ecosystem and getting the things that they need out of the network to offset their admin and overhead costs. So it's a tremendous way for charities to be able to offset their costs, and for businesses like yourself to be able to give back to your community without having to come up with cash. So to drive this home, just a quick story. This is Renee Delaney. She owns a business in Niagara region called Small Scale Farms, an alternate farming community that she's building there. It's an amazing story. And she's doing an awesome job helping the local community. So what happened here was she's got a business called Small Scale Farms. You know, this icon over here represents the Barter Pay community. This is the Barter Pay It Forward Foundation. And here's a couple of charities that we recently supported down in the Niagara area. So what happened was Small Scale Farms, every week when they run their food orders through and the people come and pick up, they oftentimes have extra food from the farmers themselves. And so what Renee has been doing is leveraging the Barter Pay system to actually monetize that extra food instead of seeing it go to waste in some form or fashion. And so now she's actually taking her extra food and she's selling it, she's monetizing it to the Barter Pay community in exchange for barter credits. And already in the first year, we've generated about $20,000 worth of brand new business for Renee. Now she decided early on that she was going to take 50% of all of her barter credit earnings and actually donate them to the Barter Pay It Forward Foundation. So in the last 12 months, she's generated almost $10,000 worth of donations for the Barter Pay It Forward Foundation. In exchange, she's received a charitable tax receipt and a huge thank you. And she's taken her other $10,000 and actually spent it on things that she needs for her business, whether it's printing or marketing or advertising and that sort of thing. Now the Barter Pay It Forward Foundation has distributed these credits back out to like Big Brothers Big Sisters, Pastone Foundation, and some other charities down in the Niagara region. Again, they just give us a thank you. And then again, to close the loop, these charities are taking the credits and spending them back into the bartering ecosystem and extracting out wine and plants and landscaping and printing and building maintenance and all sorts of things to offset their regular everyday admin and overhead costs. So we're taking idle inventory and idle time from businesses and converting it into the things that charities need through the Barter Pay It Forward program. Okay, almost done here. Imagine Canada is our charitable partner in this, our national partner. They're the voice of the charitable sector across the country. Their CEO, Bruce McDonald, says Barter Pay It Forward is making a meaningful difference to Canadian charities. By creating a marketplace for in-kind giving, they're lifting the barriers to millions in donations each year that have traditionally been turned down. Okay, where we are and where we're going. Right now, we're approaching 4,000 businesses in the ecosystem. Last year, we transacted about 35 million worth of bartering transactions. We have 106 charities already on board the program. And to date, 3.4 million barter credits have been gifted from our clients, donated from our clients, and gifted out to charities who've already utilized them back within the community. Where we're heading over the next few years is 50,000 businesses across Canada. At that point, we'll be generating about $500 million in bartering activity between those businesses. And we want to keep this ratio about 10 to 1. So we're going to have 5,000 charities who are going to be receiving, believe it or not, the numbers are showing that we're going to be generating about $100 million per year in annual net new giving. Again, we're not taking from the cash pie of donations that these businesses are making. We're actually creating this whole new pie of donations in the form of idle time or idle inventory. Quickly here, not even including the three ladies that we've got joining us, we're going to be transitioning to them in a second here. If you look at these 15 or so businesses, these are all women business owners across Canada who've been part of the Barter Pay system for up to 10 years. And combined, just these 15 ladies have generated and have actually transacted over $4 million worth of bartering in the platform already. I mean, some of them have done almost $1 million worth of bartering in about 10 years. Others have done 21,000 or 10,000. So it's an amazing group that we're developing, and these ladies are leading the way in some of these categories. Okay, so we're going to actually switch gears here and hand it back over to Laura to maybe open it up for some Q&A, but we want to first hear from our three guests. And again, just as a reminder, if you do have a question while we're chatting, please just type it into the question box. I know that Laura can see that, so she'll get to those in the queue. Here we go, Laura.
Thank you, John. I have to say, what a brilliant business model. And I think Sharon Bates said in the chat, it's a win-win. It's absolutely amazing. And I mean, proof just by the three ladies that we have on the call today that, I mean, Tommy's been working with you for 2 years and Stephanie for 5 years and Amber for 15. I mean, the fact that they've all stuck with it tells me that it must work and it must be great value for them and for you. So congratulations on that. It's absolutely a brilliant model at all times, but even more so now more than ever, because, you know, there is a lot of extra and there is a lot of need for additional services without using a business's cash. So it's just brilliant. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
All the guests have, the three guests have introduced themselves today, and I'd like to hear from them because you've all been working with BarterPay for quite a while. And so Stephanie, we'll start with you. Maybe you can tell me sort of from your perspective, what are some of your experiences and how are you using it for your business?
Sure. Pre-COVID, we'll do pre-COVID and then we'll do post-COVID. But pre-COVID, we were using it a lot actually for things like our cooking wine, our coffee grounds, a lot of our ingredients that we needed for catering. We did a lot of large-scale conferences, weddings. We were catering about 80 to 90 weddings a year. And some people were coming to us to use us for their wedding because of BarterPay as well. So it was really a both sides of the coin thing there. So we were able to purchase things through BarterPay, but also it was great for marketing and getting out to people who wouldn't have known about it otherwise, especially we're located in Cambridge, Ontario, right on the 401, and we were getting a lot of business from Hamilton and Burlington area because we were part of the BarterPay family. Some of the things sort of just as COVID hit, we were about to open our dining lounge and had purchased some silverware to use in the dining lounge that was discontinued before we were able to get enough pieces that we needed. We were able to sell that then to resell it on BarterPay. With, you know, hadn't even come out of the box, and it's not something that we would normally sell, but it was something that we were able to offload to the BarterPay community. Same with some extra chairs and desks that we had bought for our staff. Once we actually got in the space and got things configured, we had extra, and so we were able to get that for what we paid for it, but with BarterPay dollars. Even with our new space, so we had just built out a new 7,000 square foot facility in Cambridge just back in February, and used BarterPay to find a painter to do all of our painting for us, which was fantastic because I was already paying for, you know, plumbing and electricity and all of the other things that went with the renovations, and to be able to take that big chunk and use BarterPay dollars for that was fantastic and really helped with cash flow around that time. Post-COVID, now that we've more or less shut down our regular operations, we're doing grocery pickup, curbside pickup and delivery a couple times a week, and are taking BarterPay dollars for anyone who wants to order food through us. But we're also, again, able to resell things that we can get with using our BarterPay dollars. So things like, again, our coffee grounds are a great example. Settlement Coffee Company out of Kitchener-Waterloo. They're closed right now, but they have inventory sitting on their shelves. So we were able to buy tons of coffee grounds from them that are, you know, we're keeping them in our freezer to keep them fresh, able to sell bags of them to our clients. Yeah, it's been really nice that even through all of the upheaval, we've been able to rely on BarterPay for both receiving and giving. So.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Sorry.
And it's funny how I used to always use terms pre-kids and post-kids before I had kids and after I have kids, and now it's pre-COVID and post-COVID, right? The way we describe everything. So Amber, you've been using BarterPay for 15 years, so obviously it works quite well for you. Maybe you can tell us a little bit how you're using it, what some of your experiences are.
Yeah, I can honestly say that BarterPay helped me to actually launch my business. I already had a business, like I had a career doing something else, and I kind of started this small business on the side where I was helping people doing treatments for pain. And I really didn't have any clients. I didn't know how to advertise, and just joining BarterPay, they send an email out like, hey, we got a new member. This is Amber, and if you've got sciatica or back pain or whatever, she can help you. And like almost immediately, I got a couple of clients that were really, really happy. So that made me feel good because I was a new business at the time. And what I did was I stored those barter dollars up and eventually paid for some advertising with barter dollars. And that launched, like at that point, I had treated enough people that had referred enough cash paying clients that I went, wow, I can't do this out of a spare room anymore. And just sort of BarterPay got the ball rolling on all of that. And I've been making a list while I was listening to Stephanie. I was like, oh, right, yeah, I've gotten this through BarterPay, this through BarterPay. So my list so far, I get my accounting through BarterPay, tons of advertising. We get limousines when we have staff functions, or even just to get to and from the airport. I've been able to book cottages, travel. I mean, it's not all business oriented, but sometimes it can be perks for staff too, right? They have a Christmas party every year that instead, if you don't want to book your own party, you can go to the BarterPay party and bring your whole staff with you. There are all kinds of restaurants on BarterPay. I've had painting done, renovations, handyman, dental services. I've been able to book trade shows through BarterPay, tickets to Theater Aquarius shows. And I mean, that's specific to this area, but it's a very good theater. And they kind of like, they'll hang on to their tickets. And if they don't sell them a few days before the show date, BarterPay puts out a blast and they sell their tickets. Again, everyone's happy, right? Those seats would have been empty and I get to take my kids to the theater. Again, that was back pre-COVID. There's no theater now. I've been able to get my hair done. Before I owned a spa, I was able to go and get spa services, which is a real treat, right? Sometimes you just spend money on yourself that you wouldn't spend on yourself, or take employees out for a little perk. Cleaning supplies, wine, cider, chocolates, which we can give to clients as gifts. Stephanie, you mentioned coffee. I might have even bought coffee from you at some point, I'm not sure. But these are all things that some of them you would be buying them with cash for your business. So absolutely, I'm saving myself money. But some of them are just extra perks, and they help you retain your staff. Like, our staff are really happy. First of all, they're never bored, because when people come in and they're spending trade dollars, they're filling those spots that might have been empty. And they're also tipping in cash too, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's just, I love it, obviously. Like, I'm just full of enthusiasm for it. I can't say enough awesome stuff about it. Obviously, like you said, John, we got to pay our rent with cash. There are certain things that have to be cash. So you can't run your entire organization on barter, but you can certainly do a large portion of it. So
I never thought of, though, how creative that that's how you kind of started your business. It's a great way to maybe test an idea as a marketing platform to see kind of what the need is for it, or what the interest is for it. So that's very, very creative. So a marketing aspect of it, which is it's really building a community, which I think is important more than ever right now too. And the haircut, man, I think I would pay anything for that right now. So that alone would be worth it, to be able to get a haircut. So Tommy, I'm interested in learning from you. You're I guess the newer of the three, but still 2 years. So tell us about some of your experiences.
Well, what got me initially was BarterPay had available childcare businesses that I could barter with. And for a new mom, and now I've added a second child, that's a big deal, trying to balance the life of a woman and a business owner of multiple businesses. So that got me in the door. And then just thinking about it, I've done trade shows with BarterPay, which have brought in dozens of new patients, which is great. I've had people come into my business just because they found out I use BarterPay. People I never would have met before, or maybe not at that time. So I've used cleaning services, audio, visual work, tech work, because I do know nothing about those things, but it's really important in business. So I've been overwhelmingly encouraged and supported by the team here in Regina. I love it. And even post-COVID, thankfully I had a little bit of credit in my account, so I'm able to use that for services that I still needed, and hope when things open up again to really rock this service, because we all know cash is key. Having money in your account is so important. You can't run a business, you can't pay mortgages, leases, payroll without cash, and freeing up with that extra inventory that for a lot of us is still sitting idle because of the situation we're in. But it's comforting, it's help that I never would have had I not joined BarterPay 2+ years ago.
And interesting you said that, Tommy. Thank you, because we do surveys with our clients regularly at BDC, especially during this COVID period. And one of the things that a lot of business owners said that they will do differently going forward is have a little bit of an emergency fund for the unforeseen. Yes. And BarterPay is a great option for that, right? It's having those credits in there, so when you need to get some ongoing stuff and you're not able to, or you don't want to use your cash, it's there for you. So good for you for doing that. And that's the post-COVID world, I guess, as we talk about the pre and the post.
Yeah, it's a new world. It's going to be like this for a long time.
Absolutely. So I'm going to pass it back to John. We have a couple questions, I think, specifically for you, John. So John, one of the questions that's come in is how many businesses are on the platform? And maybe you can go a little bit more into detail as to the cost for having an account and e-blast distribution and things like that, just so anyone that's interested has a little more detail on it.
I did scan through each of the guests' account just to kind of take a little bit of a look. I had no idea there was that many different things that you guys have been acquiring by converting your either idle time or inventory into those things. Huge kudos to you for doing that. So we're approaching 4,000 businesses now on the platform, but we're really growing fast. I mean, if you can picture, there never has been and never will be again a more ripe marketplace to grow an organized bartering platform as we have right now. And again, like I talked about at the beginning, we're very, very sensitive to the small business community. We want to service as many as we possibly can. We have hundreds of businesses joining our webinars and learning all about it. We've got lots of businesses joining the program just to kind of test it out. So a couple of tools, I know people asked about eBlast or how do you bring me new business? How do you advertise what I'm doing? So I'm just going to quickly take 2 minutes here and just go through a couple of slides quickly. We call them barter tools to grow your business, because it is a technology, but it's more than that. We really pride ourselves in having a human element in this whole process. And it's not just an app you download and hope it all works. And so the first and most important tool that we give you, and I always chuckle when I say tool, because obviously these people are not tools, but they are Barter Coaches. And so we know that as a busy business owner or juggling all the things that you got to juggle at home and at your business, that you can't always think about BarterPay. It's not always top of mind. So every business that joins the platform, we assign them a Barter Coach. And that Barter Coach is going to manage a portfolio between 150 and 200 businesses. And they're going to come alongside you and be an extension of your team with respect to organized bartering. And so the first thing they're going to do is they're going to help you market your goods or services out to the system in order to help you earn that new incremental revenue, to convert that idle time, convert that idle inventory into bartering credits so it doesn't go to waste. And then more importantly, the next thing they're going to do on the back end is they're going to help you access the things that you need by working with you on building a wish list of all the different things that you're looking for, whether it's printing or advertising or staff incentives or childcare, whatever your wish list is. And so we want to make sure there's an inflow and an outflow of barter credits, and the Barter Coach is going to do that for you and help you along the way. They're going to work with our advertising team to design an ad for you, and they're going to put it on the Barter Blast. So each week you can subscribe to the local Barter Blast. You can subscribe to multiple Barter Blasts across the country. And this is just where you can see who's joining the network, things that are happening, different promotions that are out there, and you also can advertise on this as well to get your business some exposure. We also do what's called barter promos. So it might be like a one-off offering. Like I think we did a promo for Stephanie actually when she wanted to sell off some of her inventory with the chairs that she had, for example, just after COVID hit. We also are going to be running our barter events. We're going to be moving these to obviously online events for the foreseeable future. And next year in September, we really hope to host the first annual Barter Fest. And Barter Fest will literally just be a gathering of the Barter Pay community coast to coast across the country, where we bring together the entire community, bring in speakers, not just talking about barter, but just how to grow your business in general and how to leverage barter along the way. And all of our events we do in support of the Barter Pay It Forward Foundation as well. Barter Pay POS, this is an app that you would download, so people often have questions about how to do a transaction. So when you become a member of Barter Pay, you're going to generate a welcome email with your credentials. You just simply download the app, upload your username and password, and create that. And then you can do barter transactions, and you can talk to your broker, your coach rather, and you can have your Barter Pay debit card there inside of the app to be able to do sales and purchases and that sort of thing. And like I already mentioned, once a month we email you to your inbox an accounting of all your Barter Pay activity, showing your sales, showing your purchases, your balance in your barter account, month to date, year to date. And again, all this can be accessed in real time, either through talking to your coach by text or email or over the phone, or you can log into the back end at mybarterpay.ca that way. So that's basically the tools that we have. And so I know that answered probably a bunch of questions that people were asking about, but is there any more, Laura, that you can see that I haven't touched on yet? I'm sure there are.
Yeah, so John, maybe you can talk a little bit just about how a business charges. Like, do they charge? Do they decide themselves what the pricing is, or is it normal pricing, or do they offer it at a discount? Kind of, how does that work?
Yeah, totally. Pricing. So the pricing platform that we promote in Barter Pay is a retail to retail pricing platform. Ultimately, the marketplace sort of dictates the pricing. If you're trying to overprice your product, first of all, we're going to hear from the purchasing side. They're going to talk to their coach and say, hey, you know what, business XYZ, I feel like they're kind of inflating their prices. If that happens regularly, we'll actually ask business XYZ to exit the system. We don't want to have people who are trying to take advantage. We want it to be fair and equitable for everybody. And we also don't expect businesses to have to offer their discount. So it's retail to retail. So, when you get a coupon book in the mail, it might say at the bottom of the coupon, this coupon cannot be combined with any other offer or discount. And so that's kind of the same way it is with Barter Pay. The fact that you as a business owner can go and buy something without having to use your money, instead you can just pay for it with your own time or inventory, your wholesale cost of goods, or your time that is expiring to zero value. That in and of itself is already a discount, being able to barter. And so to expect to be able to get the discount price and also pay in Barter Pay oftentimes isn't fair to the seller, and they're not able to make it work. It's cost prohibitive. So again, retail to retail to retail. So great question.
Okay. Yeah. There's a question. Can you give an overview of the sectors that the majority? I mean, you have 4,000 members. So you can't really talk about every single one of them. But is there certain industries that are involved? So, is it mostly marketing, or what kind of other than the three that we've heard from today and the couple of examples? What are generally the industries that are members of Barter Pay?
Another great question. And so I'm going to first talk about the industries that will probably never be a part of Barter Pay, just because it's a much shorter list. So things like were already mentioned, you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage in Barter Pay, taxes, heat, hydro, electricity, core staff wages, groceries are very difficult to get. Anything that's more of a commodity, like, hardwood lumber and that sort of thing. As we get bigger and bigger and bigger, obviously those things are going to become available. And to we're actually announcing a new client that just joined BarterPay called Gordon Food Service. They're a $19 billion company, and their Canadian offices are now going to be starting to take all their extra inventory in food and actually selling it through the BarterPay community to be able to give to charity, for example. So there are small businesses, large businesses, but the different sectors that we pretty much represent are anything from retail to restaurants and entertainment, business services, media and advertising, service-based businesses, professionals, architects, engineers, lawyers, dentists, orthotics, massage therapy, chiropractic, obviously medical aesthetics, right? Dr. Mitchell. And then construction and trades, also a really big segment for us is the construction and trades. So it's really, really vast. And the crazy thing is, the bigger the system gets, the bigger the system gets. And so it's been a long journey of 24 years to get to this point. But we're kind of at that tipping point where we're just seeing hundreds of businesses coming on board from all different areas of the country and all different sectors of the business.
Good. So you talked about we can't use it to pay our income tax, but what about CRA? There's some questions about the taxes, and we're assuming that CRA is on side with this. And how do the taxes work? Is it taxable income, the credits, or how does it work?
Yeah, great question. So yes, the CRA, we're actually a designated barter company by the CRA. And so they kind of like what we do because we take some of the underground economy that's always going to be there and we put it on paper and formalize it. So there's no tax advantage or disadvantage to bartering. It's just a formality that we suggest you take care of to make it above board. And so because there's a full paper trail on every transaction, and we operate in that way where we give you that monthly accounting, we really highly suggest that we can't dictate we can't dictate how you would run your accounting, but we highly suggest that doing it properly is the best way to do it. And that is, in your books and records, you simply set up a bank account, call it BarterPay, and you treat it no differently than another form of payment and another revenue and expense. So as you earn barter credits, you're going to provide an invoice and plus the appropriate taxes to the purchaser. You're going to bank those BarterPay credits into your BarterPay bank account in your accounting software. And as you are utilizing barter credits, it's no different than writing a check out of your bank account. Now you're spending barter credits out of your BarterPay account, and you're getting an invoice from the vendor that you can pay and recover your HST or GST and that sort of thing. So no advantage or disadvantage, just a formality that needs to take place.
Okay, another form of a way of getting your products and services out there, I guess, and a lot of businesses have had to do that with COVID, right? They pivoted.
Absolutely.
This is another way.
Absolutely.
So a couple questions on what the cost is, I guess, to the member. Is it does BarterPay take a commission, or how does it work? Is it a membership, or how does it work?
Yes. Am I still showing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So to join the movement, we used to charge a $500 activation fee, a monthly fee, and almost 15% barter transaction fee on every bartering transaction. And so we're actually in the middle of a test pilot right now because I've always wanted to kind of switch to the Netflix model in order to really scale up the company. And so literally for about a year and a half ago, we started to think about this. But when COVID hit, we thought, why not test this out now? And so what we've done is we've gone to the Netflix model, which is a subscription-based model. And as you can see here, the one-time activation to join now, instead of being $500, we dropped it to $99. And the monthly subscription is only $59 a month. And that's all inclusive. That doesn't mean that you're going to pay extra to talk to your barter coach or go on a barter blast or a barter promo or, be limited in the amount of bartering that you can do, for example. It's literally, that's the rate. It's an all-inclusive rate. Now, we actually are going to be increasing our monthly subscription to $69, $79, $89, and $99. But all those that are joining right now at $59 are going to stay locked in at $59, and the ones that join at $69 will stay locked in at that. So over the next 12 to 14 months, it'll be going up, in value, and then we'll see what happens for the long term. But we're really trying to make this really affordable and easy to budget into your business. If you're a member of a Chamber of Commerce, anywhere in Ontario right now, or Restaurants Canada, or the Retail Council of Canada, who's our latest partner, the activation is the same, the monthly subscription is the same, but you actually start off with $175 bill credit. You can hop on board, see how it works. If you like it, you can do it more. If you don't like it, it's okay. No hard feelings. We'll help you exit the system. There's no long-term contract. There's no minimum amount you have to do. There's no maximum amount, and that sort of thing. Yeah, so that's the cost.
Wow, love it. Thank you, John. That's great.
No problem.
So a couple more questions, and if you have any more questions, just reminding you to type them in the Q&A section. That's what I'm looking at, is the Q&A section. So there's a couple questions, John, on quality. Does BarterPay at all ensure the quality of the product or services when the transaction happens?
Yes. So you'll notice if you've tried to go onto our website and sign up. If you've gone to our website and tried to sign up, we don't allow people just to join online at this point. It's not even a join, it's more of an application process. So we want people to understand what it's all about, come to a webinar, learn about it. We make sure there's a fit. So they would fill out an application. We send you an application link, fill out the application, and within a day or so, we're going to be able to look at your website, maybe look at some Google reviews, check out your business and make sure it's on the up and up. And then we're going to onboard you, connect you with the Barter Coach, and get you all up and running and start advertising your products and services to the community. But once you're in the system, the Barter Coaches are very hands-on dealing with their portfolio. So we always know if a buyer in a transaction gets shoddy service or they feel gypped or whatever the case may be, they're always going to talk to their BFF Barter Coach and say, hey, you know what, that business didn't show up, or they tried to price gouge, or whatever the case may be. And if that continues to happen, again, we're going to ask that person to exit the system and sometimes actually just say, hey, we're canceling your account. And so, it's meant to be fair and equitable for all participants. As we do a rebuild of our technology in the coming months, we're actually going to be adding in a whole layer of communication, and it's going to have real-time ratings and reviews as well. So the community itself will be able to almost be self-governed as we move forward, where they can all rate and each other's experience, regardless of a transaction consummating or not. We want people to rate the interaction and really sort of highlight it that way. So it'll kind of deselect. People will be deselected just based on peer reviews, that sort of thing. Yeah, great question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So we're in this together. We've heard that a lot lately. But the community that you've built and the fact that you're ensuring the quality and the movement back and forth, and what a great thing that businesses. I think what's really important is businesses can use it to give back to the community and donate those barter credits and get a for it. They otherwise would probably really want to, but they may not just have the cash, right? So that's great.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Yep.
It's 10 to, so I just want to be, depending on where you are in the country, it's 10 to something. Yeah. So I just want to be conscious of the time, and I want to give the last words, I guess, to our three guests who are using it. So I'd like to start with Tommy. And Tommy, maybe you can just some last words that you have, and maybe why you would encourage business owners to get involved or at least try BarterPay.
Well, John made this really easy today with his announcements. You have nothing to lose, really. You're growing your future, your dreams, everything. So in today's market, any help that can come your way, I would say take it. And BarterPay is a very reputable business, and their structure is amazing, and they're very organized. It's a win-win.
Good. And you can really hear it in John's enthusiasm, can't you, in his passion?
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah, great. So thank you very much, Tommy, and thank you for joining us. So Stephanie, any last words and why you would encourage people to give it a try?
Yeah, I would say give it a try and really use your coach. I actually, my BarterPay coach, who I started with, passed away last year, which was really tough. And I actually went to his funeral because I felt so connected to him. This is my BarterPay coach. But Mike, who has taken over as my BarterPay coach, has been absolutely fantastic, especially through this COVID stuff. But you don't have to go through the whole list of, okay, who's in my area, and I need this, so I'm going to look through. No, I just said, I sent an email. I said, hey, I'd really like to do some marketing for the restaurant side of things. What are the local magazines or newspapers who are accepting BarterPay? And then that's where I put my ad dollars. But they figured that out for me. You just say what you're looking for. If you're looking for web and if you're looking for a plumber, whatever it might be, they'll find it for you and give you whatever options are in your area. So really use your coach. They're fantastic people. It's been great customer service as well.
Great. And Amber?
I couldn't agree more about the coach. First of all, they get to know your business. I've even had phone calls from my coach like, Amber, it's getting close to Christmas. Are you not ordering truffles this year for your clients? I'm like, oh yeah, thank you. Like they run my business for me sometimes, but again, what have you got to lose? First of all, you sign up, and I can't believe you're doing this for free right now, John, but yay, we'll get more great members. Once you sign up, you become part of an amazing community of like-minded entrepreneurs. And if you do a good job, if you run a good business, you are now able to offer that service to so many more people who they don't have to part with their cash. They're parting with their trade dollars, which doesn't hurt as much. And now all these people are going to go, wow, I love your business. I'm going to tell 10 friends. And all of a sudden, it really does snowball. As long as you're doing something awesome, and as long as you treat your Barter Pay customers the same as you would treat any customers, right? They're just as valuable to you. That's really important. And I do find that most Barter Pay places they definitely value that idea.
Because I'm sure, Amber, good point, that even if they don't have the barter credits, they'll still use you, or they'll still purchase from you, right? Which is they're still a customer, which is very important, and they still can tell 10 other friends.
Exactly. Yeah, they can be a good advertisement or a bad one. So make sure
perfect example of community and the importance of it, right? And supporting each other. So that's a great example. So John, I know there's some more questions that I'm sure that you'll answer in time, and I encourage everyone to reach out to John if you're interested. But there's a question on language. Is Barter Pay available in Quebec in French and English, in both languages?
We're not officially in both languages yet, so we're working on that as we expand. And so, we definitely want to be in Quebec ASAP, but I'm not sure the timing of it just yet. A lot of moving parts for us right now. As you can imagine, we bootstrapped this company, my wife and I, for 24 years, raising 4 boys along the way, and they're now 20 down to 13. And so it's been a complete blur for us the last 20 years or so, but we're in this growth mode right now, and still just trying to figure out a way to navigate the growth and make sure that we don't grow too quickly. And we're working on some funding opportunities as well to really scale things up. So as we do these things and we get more and more organic growth and cash flow plus some funding, we're definitely going to speed up the process to launch in Quebec.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. So John, just 12:54 here in Alberta, and I know 2:54 where you are. So any last words before you do the draw, I guess?
For sure, yeah. Well, one of the words I heard out of most people today on the call was this word community. And so I just want to touch on that. We're literally trying to build a community here and fostering this movement, this group, this tribe of like-minded, forward-thinking entrepreneurs who are all in it together. And like I said, on that Barter Pay loop, this is meant to be a sharing economy, a bartering system, a zero waste movement. That type of thinking about that, right? And if you're that type of person, you're absolutely going to love joining this community. And as we build out this avatar of who is the Barter Pay member, we're just going to keep attracting more and more of that. And so that's what's really exciting for me, is that, over 24 years of building it, we've built to 4,000 businesses. Maybe some of them won't be with us a year from now, but we know that the next 10 or 15 or 20 or 100,000 that sign up to the community are going to be those types of people. And we're really, really excited about that, because it's just an amazing group of people to be around. So that's basically it. Again, some next steps are on the screen here. You can apply today by sending me an email, john.porter@barterpay.ca. I can shoot you back an application link. I've got everybody's emails from the registration on Zoom, so I can also I will be sending you an email as well. Look for that in your inbox. If you don't get it, check your spam. And then we want to hop on maybe a 10 or 15, 20 minute, 30 minute one-on-one just to answer any questions for you specifically. I want to make sure I make it myself available to each and every one of you. If you want to hop on a call, I'm glad to apply this to your business specifically. And then if you're not ready for either of those two things, that's okay. Just follow our story on our social media channels that were advertised before, or you can look us up on Google. We've been featured in a lot of news recently. And so we're really excited about the this kind of hype that's building right now around the organized bartering system. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say. So should we just transition to the draw, Laura? Or?
Yeah, we'll do the draw. I just want to say, John, the BDC is a B Corp, a beneficial corporation. And so that zero waste and that complete circle, I guess, and giving back to the community is so important. So this fits really well within that. And buying local and supporting local and entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship is always been important, but more important now than ever. So congratulations on that. So do you want to do the draw, John, or Gavin, I think, is going to do it?
I think Gavin's got the list of all the attendees that have stuck with us, and most of them have. And so Gavin, I'll give you maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds there to run it through your Excel random selector, and they can let me know who wins.
And said, okay, well, these are all the people that were here the whole time. So, and then I randomly selected, using Excel, kind of sorting everything, Danielle Fernandez. So
Danielle Fernandez is the winner of 5,000 barter credits.
Yay!
Amazing, Danielle. If you're on the line, maybe you can say something in the chat box, like a woohoo or something. But that's that 5,000 in barter credits, believe it or not, is actually worth 5,000 Canadian dollars in goods or services from the BarterPay ecosystem. Not to mention, Danielle could also choose to donate some of those barter credits back out to local charities and actually receive a one-for-one charitable tax receipt. So let's end it off on that. An amazing time. Thank you so much for taking 60 minutes to be with us today. Thank you to BDC and their movement here to help women entrepreneurs across the country forge ahead. And the leader of that is our co-host today, Laura Didiak. Thanks so much for being with me today. Really appreciate you guys taking that time. And our guests, Amber, Tomi, and Stephanie, amazing stories. Really appreciate you guys speaking so highly of BarterPay. We love you, and we love helping you grow your business using barter. So that's about it. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Thank you.